Okay, this is part 2 of the fabric tutorial, and I just wanted to compare for you at home, because some people like when I do this a lot, the fabric that I was drawing versus the drawing of the fabric. So you guys can see some of these subtleties. I'm going to work on them a little bit for you on this next little short tutorial. So we've got that underplane over there on the fabric, and then this butt is kind of turning under, and that starts to become an underplane, so you shade that a little bit. And then you can see on the photograph how, look at how that is catching light, but that destroys the form and it prevents her from turning into a side plane. So you as the artist, you want to ignore that like little light over there, and you want to knock that down a little bit, especially that little light. And this is what I was talking about before, where you have like roundness, and that's a cylinder, and this is a big wide cylinder. This is a little cylinder as well. This could also be surface plane, so top plane, side plane, and this is definitely planes over here. Like that shadow shape is a kind of a plane that is in shadow. And then you also want to recognize cast shadows. So this fabric stuff can get very complicated. So now let's go, let me take the picture off and let's just work on the drawing just for a couple minutes here. And what I wanted to show you basically, I want to work with my kneaded eraser, but the thing that is really important in this drawing to give it volume is this thing and how it wraps around the roundness of, say, her butt. Okay, if I did that line straight, that would destroy the form totally. And even how this like little, I don't know, we're just going to call it stitching, that sews two pieces of fabric together, how that turns and how this turns and wraps around, all that stuff is crucial to your fabric drawing subtleties. Even over here, like I exaggerated that roundness and how it wraps around her waist or her stomach right over there. So some of the stuff I was working on, and I'm working with an HB pencil, so then I would come back in now and sharpen my kneaded eraser like I'm doing now in front of the camera and turn it into a tool. And then I would physically draw too with my kneaded eraser, like if I wanted to pull some stuff out. And with the HB mechanical pencil, you can definitely do that. So maybe if I wanted to lighten this line ever so slightly, or maybe I didn't care about the form and I just want to show the exaggeration of that light over there, I'd pull it out. And I do all of my illustration sketches, or at least I used to, this way. Lately I've been doing some of my illustration sketches digital just to save some time, and but this is the way I've been doing it my whole illustration career, with this technique with the HB pencil on copy paper, so it fits nicely into my scanner and I don't have to cut paper. So if you're in a hurry, this is the way to go. And with an HB graphite, it works great with this kneaded eraser. So you can actually soften stuff with this kneaded eraser, which is really cool. So I'm just going over this and I'm softening some areas. And you know, let's say I wanted to, you got to switch the tool, like, because it gets graphite on it, and you just got to reform that so it's like a nice clean edge. So now I would just come back in here with that little frayed edge of the Micro Mini and just show the texture of the fabric and just, you know, lose some of the graphite. I got too much graphite down over there. And then it just starts to get softer and softer and softer. The other thing that I want to mention on this tutorial is you want to lose an edge in the light. And I've spoken about that when I did a line tutorial, and that will just relax your drawing. Over here, if we go up her back, I really should be going lighter with this line. But since this is going to be kind of streaming, the quality of the video is not going to be great, so I'm just going to leave it a little bit darker, because if it's too light you won't even see it. So now what I worked on some more between the last tutorial and this tutorial on this fabric was I just put down more graphite, I shaded a little bit more, I did all these like little doodads in the stitching, and I paid attention a little bit more to all my shadow shapes. I wrapped some more lines in, but honestly what I really focused on was putting more graphite down, building up this middle tone, and paying attention to the lines of the stitching that sews pieces of fabric together. And then I just kind of like rolled it up side plane of her waist slash stomach, and then a little bit more side plane over here. And then each one of these like little things is a cylinder, like we talked about on the first tutorial. And then you just roll up the whole side plane. I didn't do her arm because this tutorial is mainly about fabric. And then just come on in here. You got to have the patience just to do all this like little nitpicky stuff. I love the nitpicky stuff, so depends on what your style is. If your style is not realistic, you're not going to be doing this type of nitpicking, but the nitpicking is what makes it beautiful. And then I just put down a little bit of the surface plane that she was on, just so this is not against white paper, and punched up some of those like little shadow shapes down here. So the last thing I'm going to say with the fabric is just pay attention to the hems and the stitching and use them as a tool to show what you're drawing, to show that it's a three-dimensional form, and stay away from straight lines because straight lines will destroy your drawing. All right, that's it for now.